Good day, everyone. Rick Ucchino here again for SK Wrestling, and we are just days away from the Elimination Chamber. And my guest at this time will be one of 6 men locked inside that structure, vying for a shot at Roman Reigns and his Universal Championship. He's a former NXT champion, 2-time Intercontinental Champion, and frankly, despite the love and respect that I have for Big E, he is still and will always be my Intercontinental Champion. He is Sami Zayn. How are we doing, good sir?
Thank you. Finally, someone with some common sense. Appreciate that.
I pride that on being one thing that I have in life is common sense. I did call you a 2-time Intercontinental Champion, but technically you never lost the thing. So I got to know, which one do you prefer, a 2-time champ or somebody who held the belt from March until currently, shall we say?
Well, what I like to say is that what I did was actually very unprecedented, which was I was a 2-time champion who never lost the championship. So it's I don't know if that's ever actually been done. But if there's a chance to have that extra accolade on my resume of 2-time champion, I begrudgingly, I have to take it, right?
Yeah,
you can't
sure.
just leave that. You can't just leave that behind.
Absolutely. Sami Zayn making history. That's the way you got to look at it.
You got to take it. Yeah.
All right. This Sunday, you are 1 win away from a shot at the Universal Championship, though. In order to do that, you got to go through 5 other men inside the Elimination Chamber, which I do believe this is going to be your first time in there, or so for lack of a better term. What are you looking forward to the most, I guess, about being inside the chamber?
So, that's a funny question because there's a lot to not look forward to as well, sure. Right? It's a daunting structure. It doesn't look very forgiving. It's one of those things that I think probably hurts even worse than it looks like. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I think what I am actually looking forward to is just because of the talent that's actually in that match. With that many guys who can go at that rate, all in the same match with this impressive structure, I think it's got a very different feel from any other Elimination Chamber match that I've seen or even heard of at any point. So I'm looking forward to it because I know with the guys that are in that match, it's guaranteed to be a great match. So that part of it, and I always kind of get excited for these big multi-man matches. Like the Money in the Bank or the WrestleMania ladder matches or something like that. I always really, really enjoy when there's all these exciting elements to a match. So it's guaranteed to be great. That part I'm looking forward to. The other part, not so much.
How do you think the chamber is going to differ from, the standard cage match or even, Hell in a Cell? I don't believe you've been inside the cell either, but like when it comes to putting a match like this together, what just kind of goes through your mind?
Well, so one of the interesting variables about the Elimination Chamber is also the countdown. So you have that kind of almost Royal Rumble sort of element going on in addition to the fact that there's storylines between the 6 different performers. And it's really, honestly, it could be great. It really could be great. The way they all interact with each other, I think, is very unique, and it's unique to those characters at that point in time. You know what I mean? That's what's going to make the match interesting. And the fact that even if you don't know the storylines and you don't know who's with who, it's still 6 guys that can all go, you know what I mean? And use a structure like that in a very interesting and compelling way.
Now the winner gets an opportunity at the Tribal Chief. He's another guy on SmackDown that, much like yourself, I feel is just operating at the top of his game right now. What would getting that one-on-one opportunity with Roman Reigns, even though it's the same night that you go through Elimination Chamber, but you get that shot at the Universal Championship, what would that mean to you, getting that one-on-one match with him?
I think it would be pretty great. And I don't think, so for example, I think we both came back right around the same time. We were both gone for about the same amount of time in 2020. And we both came back about the same time. And without tooting my own horn, I do think that both of us coming back really added to SmackDown. Because both of us were just adding some very cool character stuff, and we're both very good performers as well in the ring. And he is truly hitting a new level, which is saying something for him because he's been operating at that top level for years now, and now somehow he's operating at an even higher level.
Yeah,
and you're seeing something new out of him that you never really saw. And in a weird way, I think this is. In a weird way, I almost think this is the version of Roman Reigns fans kind of wanted to see years ago. And now they're finally getting it in a very sort of weird way. anyways, all this to say, he's great, and he really is the top of the mountain, and so it would be awesome. But I do think that now, character-wise, is not the best mesh. But I mean, I don't care if it's a chance at the Universal Championship. I don't care how the characters mesh. I'll take it. And if it means the main event of a pay-per-view with the Universal title on the line, trust me, I'll take it. But I do mean, you know, I think he and I, in a different time, let's take this current circumstance and the Elimination Chamber match out of the equation for a second. I think in a different time and in a different place with the right story, I think something with me and him could be really, really, really incredible.
I would love to see it. And you might have answered my next question already, because I was going to go into this opportunity at the Universal Championship, because I had the absolute pleasure of talking to Finn Balor last month, and he kind of broke down what his priorities were as an on-screen performer, and winning championships really wasn't on that list at all. And, you know, then I talked to Kofi Kingston last year, and he talks about how the New Day are greedy for titles, and they just want to win championships. So I bring that up because I look at a guy like Sami Zayn and I go, how did it take 5 years to put some gold on this man? And, right, you know, when is it going to be your time to get a run with the gold? So is that something that you prioritize and focus on, winning championships? Or is it more, you know, if it's a good story, if it's good quality character work, you're a happy guy?
So I don't know. There's two ways of looking at it. Ultimately, I think I skew a little more towards the Finn Balor perspective, which is really, I don't care. Because at the end of the day, that's not what it's really about. I mean, and I'm saying this as a human being, not as a performer or a WWE superstar. As a person, that's not what drives me. It's not like I feel incomplete or my career feels incomplete unless I win the Universal Championship, right? That's not what drives me. That's not the type of person I am. But having said that, I'll also say it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to have it on the resume, and it's pretty cool. You know, because it kind of etches you in a certain, what does it even matter, I guess, in the long run, but it's sort of just a nice feather in your cap. And it's also an indicator of the status you're reaching at that time in your career. So even though I know I'm really good, I'm not, you know, whatever. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm being cocky here when I say I know I'm really, really good.
Yeah, not at all.
But sort of like the accomplishments don't measure up with how good I think my work has been over the years. So when you get those accomplishments, which are the championships and the titles, it's sort of just, I don't know, just sort of matches up. Like, oh yeah, this guy's work has been great for all these years, and there's the championships that reflect that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So that's the only aspect of it that does kind of appeal to me. But at the same time, I'm not gonna, you know, if my career ended tomorrow, I've had it great. I think I did some wonderful work. I think I entertained a lot of people. I had some good runs. I had some wonderful matches that I think people will remember for years. And winning the Universal Championship would be awesome, but I don't think it would be, you know, make or break.